Rest in peace, Kobe. I am selling my axe.
No, he's talking about outside of Kobe Bryant's daughter clips. Kobe and his daughter confirmed passed away. The others is what Wojnarowski is talking about. Wow. Okay, somebody in the chat, David Cohn in the chat mentioned Shaq. Guys, let's always remember, Shaq is the main person. You guys have seen, I've posted clips of this, of Shaq saying this in my videos, because so many people forget what he said in 2016. Shaq called Kobe Bryant the greatest player ever. Yeah. Shaq says he wishes that there was things that he didn't do back then to kind of, contribute to that rift. Make no mistake about it. Kobe Bryant, that's Shaq's guy. So, I mean, we definitely know that he's feeling it right now. Wow. The Irish elk, you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it.
R.I.P. Bean.
Wow. Well, again, man, definitely a sad day. Um, a lot of people didn't before. Hopefully, they finally will now. Just give Kobe Bryant the props that he deserves. You know, put some respect on what this man brought to the game of basketball. Generations, you know, I mean, definitely this new generation of basketball players that still hold him in high esteem. We're always hearing about how they're so inspired by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant been out the league for a while. He still has one of the most worn shoes in the entire NBA every single year. You know, and whenever you're in your house, in your room, you know, you got a piece of paper, you know, you shoot it into the trash can. A lot of people are still yelling Kobe. They fade away, they're yelling Kobe. You know? So, you know, just give that man his respect that he deserves. Definitely a sad day. And again, let's not forget the other lives that were lost in that were valuable as well. Don't just send out prayers and well wishes to Kobe Bryant and his family. Also send them out to the other ones that lost their life, you know, which have not been confirmed at this point, who the other lives, like, officially were. You know? Man, this is absolutely horrible, man. Wow. So yeah, man. So much respect to everybody that showed up. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable, man. I know, it's hard to believe. So hard to believe. Stephanie says, God, please give these families comfort during these tough times. Indeed, they're going to need it. They're going to need strength in this time of bereavement. That is a fact. Because I'm sure whoever the pilots were, I'm sure they got families that love them dearly, that need them. They might have kids, you know. So again, we're just talking about life in general. Kobe Bryant, you know, his daughter, and other lives were lost as well, man. So, but much respect to everybody, man. Hey, you know, yeah, man, I'll see you guys later. I'm your man, RB the Breakthrough. Sincerely, God bless. I'll see you guys at another time.
Fuck.
Oh, there it is. No, it's gone. Where'd it go? Breaking news in this Sunday afternoon. Five-time NBA champion, former league MVP Kobe Bryant died earlier this afternoon
What the
in Los
fuck?
Angeles in a helicopter crash. News reports are just coming in. Among multiple victims, Kobe Bryant on that helicopter. We're going to have Ramona Shelburne join us now from Los Angeles. She is on her way to the scene right now. Ramona, how did you first learn this information and how are you absorbing it right now?
Oh my God! I mean, I was outside playing with my son, and I just saw an alert. And everyone I called, you know, you get quick voicemails, and people close to him are in absolute shock right now. And it's, you know, I can't even process it. I live 10 minutes away from the scene, guys, and I can't even remember how to drive there. It's shocking that Kobe Bryant is gone.
Ramona, he was a father, a husband, an NBA legend, an Academy Award winner, an icon. He did it all in his 41 years. He became an Angelino, even though he wasn't born and raised there. 20 years with the Lakers will make you that. You grew up in the area. In any way, shape, or form here, can you help explain what Kobe meant, not just to the Lakers, but to the entire Southern California community?
Oh man, I mean, when Kobe was about to retire, I covered him his whole career here in Los Angeles, and everybody was writing retirement stories, right? Everybody was writing, what he meant, putting his career in perspective, and because, he was drafted here as a teenager, right? I mean, I was in high school when he took Brandy to the prom. Okay, so we watched this kid grow up, and this man, he had his ups and downs, he had his scant, he had his glories. You saw him go from boy to man to old man, right? And I remember saying to him, like, we gotta do a story at the end here. We gotta put this all into perspective. And he really wasn't interested at first because he said, everything has been written about me that could be written. I mean, everybody said everything negative, everything positive. What is there left to say? And I said, okay, so what is there left to say? And he said, the only thing I'm interested in is leaving a legacy of telling people how I did it, the parts of me that had to rise to the occasion, how I climbed to this level, how I became the man I am. And when people talk about like the Mamba mentality, that's not just about Kobe. Like, people in China know what that is. People in Japan know what that is. People in Africa know what that is. He became a legend, and in a lot of ways, he was writing that legendary story the whole time he was playing. And I think, one of the things that always struck me is Kobe always said, I wrote all my own commercials. I mean, he knew what he was. He knew he was a symbol. He knew he was a legend. He knew what he had to leave to the next generation. And we sat together to do one final story, and it was like a 4-hour interview, guys. And I pushed him on everything to the point where it was uncomfortable, right? And I kept thinking maybe he would get up from this interview, but he liked it. It was almost like we were playing one-on-one, because I think somebody who's lived a life like Kobe, they've thought about all of this. Man, he was so self-aware. He was so aware of his own legendary status. And I think he knew that life isn't always perfect, right? That you have to dig down into the depths of your soul sometimes to get through things, to push through things. And even when I would ask him about Colorado, even when I would ask him about the relationship with his parents, he answered. He went there, and it was because he had gone there. And I think he knew that, he lived a remarkable life, and other people aspire to that. But if you really want to have a life like that, you have to be willing to do all of it, to go through all of it. I can't process the idea that he's gone right now. I really can't. I mean, this guy, he seemed like a legend, right? But in a way, man, like, it's a remarkable life that he led, right? I mean, he's 41, 42 at this point. Like, I can't imagine Los Angeles without him. He's like the mayor of Los Angeles, whatever you want to call it, and nothing political, but almost like the spiritual mayor, right? And the city feels different without him here.
Ramona, that's a good point. You touched on so many aspects of Kobe's life. Of course, you had the situation in Eagle, Colorado, didn't have the best relationship with his family. Adrian Wojnarowski, our ESPN NBA insider, joins us now on the phone here. This breaking news coverage of Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter crash in the Los Angeles area just moments ago. What's the reaction that you've gotten from around the league so far?
That's fucking
Michael
crazy.
Zubin, obviously shocked. A lot of people hoping
Fucking
against hope that indeed Kobe Bryant was not on that helicopter, but just shocked. This is one of the iconic figures, not just in the history of the NBA, but in modern professional sports and culture. Kobe transcended the Lakers in the NBA, and this is for a lot of players who grew up idolizing him, peers who he played against. I think within the league itself, there's just shock and obviously great sadness.
During his prime, Woj, Kobe was very proud of the fact that, he didn't make a lot of friends around the league because he was trying to be the greatest. And if you're on his team, that's one thing. If you're on the opposing team, that's different. But it seems like the younger generation in the NBA right now looked up to him as much as they did anybody as it relates to the last 15 to 20 years of the NBA. How do you think his effect has translated throughout the NBA?
Well, there's no question that Kobe had a tremendous influence on really even more than one generation of young player coming into the league. You remember, he was in the NBA at 17 years old. He died today at 41, and there have been even players, young players now who just caught the tail end of his career who were enamored by him. And I'm already hearing from team executives in the last several minutes telling me, one in particular told me, their star player was devastated, didn't know if he'd be able to play in a game today, and whether the league might make a decision about games. And we're still gathering that information, but this will be, Kobe Bryant was a transcendent figure in this league, and as popular of a player that perhaps we've had since Michael Jordan.
It's so well said, Woj. Ramona Shelburne was on the phone with us prior to you coming on, and she said the Mamba mentality that he embodied was well known in China, well known in Africa, and obviously here in the United States. The true devastating part about this, you look at it from a husband and family perspective with his daughters. He said, I'm just starting to live life when he retired from the NBA. I'm going to win an Academy Award. He did. He had so much life left in front of him and wanted to do things outside of basketball. To this point, at the age of 41, with everything he did post-basketball and including his career, how would you sum up the legacy of Kobe Bryant?
Well, certainly he was a player, who came in at a time in the league when the sport was really exploding on television, on the internet, and globally. And I think Kobe Bryant was really one of the first NBA players to become immense around the world. I think he carried that on from the Dream Team group and what they did, what Michael Jordan did. Certainly in China, Kobe has reached, tremendous heights. And there are, young players everywhere in the world who imagined being him, emulated him, his ability to sell sneakers, to market products, and then he started to transcend basketball, as you said, Zubin, in his post-playing career, and was moving on into the media. Into media, he had a great passion for the written word, and and I think most of all, a great passion for his daughters, for his family. You saw him courtside at a lot of games with his daughters, taking them to games, and then coaching their teams. And that was something I know he took great pride in, kind of shepherding them through, their academic and then their basketball careers and into their teenage years.
Well, thanks for watching ESPN on. Jay, what did he mean to Los Angeles? Coming there as a teenager when the franchise was going through a transition from the Magic Johnson era, trying to get back to the upper echelon. Shaq comes in, but it wasn't until those two guys got together that they were able to win championships. What did he mean to that city in terms of that team?
I mean, they really took to him, and I mean, the passion of Kobe fans. He was the Los Angeles athlete for this century, right? Really, since the year 2000, he has been the predominant Los Angeles athlete, and there have been so many greats that have come through that city over the years and represented that city. Sandy Koufax and Matt Johnson, on and on, Fernando Valenzuela. But Kobe really, over the last 20 years, has been the person that represented LA, and I think loved the fans as much as they loved him, and they would be willing to do everything. You know, we've seen how many Twitter battles have been fought on Kobe's behalf over the years. I think he was amused by the passion. But what forged that is LA fans have always appreciated hard work, and, you know, it's known as a glitzy, you know, showcase town. But fans have always valued hard work. And so not only was Kobe did he have that flair for the dramatic, and was he a very exciting player, but he was a dedicated player, a hard-working player. And so that's what really resonated with the LA fans.
J.A., the crash happened shortly after 10 a.m. local time in Calabasas. We did report, so did the Los Angeles Times, that the crash ignited a brush fire, and that made it difficult for emergency personnel to get to the helicopter that had Kobe Bryant and the others on board. You mentioned you covered 90% of his playoff games, his biggest games, biggest stages, biggest players, biggest moments. Simply put, what made Kobe Kobe?
The drive, the determination, the absolute lack of fear, including the fear of failure. You know, he had no fear of failure, willing to take the shot, willing to live with the consequences if he missed, but absolutely determined to go down shooting. Stubborn even, you know, sometimes to a fault, but ultimately, you know, sometimes your greatest qualities are your worst qualities. And in that case, everything that made him great, that stubborn quality, that refusal to lose. I think of a game that they did lose, when Robert Horry, the one time Robert Horry missed the shot, the one time that stands out of Robert Horry missing a shot in San Antonio, 2003 playoffs, and they were down, the game was over, and Kobe just refused. And
get back in the ball game. They have decided that whoever wins the tip, and in this case Toronto, they are going to let the shot clock run out because of the number 24 who honored Kobe Bryant. Appropriate. As Fred VanVleet is holding on to it, and the crowd recognizing what this means. How did these guys play?
I don't know. You tell me. It's tough for me in this situation.
We've been told the NBA is planning or has canceled some of the games this evening. And DeJounte Murray will do the same. 24-second shot clock, of course, Kobe Bryant. Number 24. Recognize that, chanting Kobe, and now the game will actually begin.
And kept on scoring points, and kept on driving, kept on pushing, and
just be glad we had this time to spend together. There is no need to watch the bridges that will burn.
Old man, welcome to our new life. It was fun playing with you. It was fun playing against you. Best leg ever. I just want to say congratulations on an illustrious career. And tell your beautiful daughters Uncle Shaq said hello and your lovely wife. Congratulations, brother.
Hey, Kobe and Steve Fish. Congratulations to you, man, on an amazing 20-year run. No other player in the history of our game will be able to compare to what you...
About the loss of Kobe Bryant. It's very difficult for me to put in words how I feel about the loss of Kobe Bryant. As a young boy, I met him when he was 11 or 12 years old. I was friends with his dad, Joe. He was one of